Realme has been pushing really hard in the sub 30,000 rupees segment, or as we call the mid-range segment, with its all-new X3 and X3 SuperZoom. But are these phones any good? Well, I've been using the higher-end X3 SuperZoom for a while, and here's what I think about it. Let's get the specs out of the way first. The smartphone is powered by the Snapdragon 855 Plus processor. Now, it is the previous generation flagship from Qualcomm. The reason why the company isn't going for the new 865 is simply because it is quite expensive. Also, the company offers that same chip on the Realme X50 Pro, so why not use the next best option? You get the phone in two memory and storage options. The first one offering 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, and the other one offering 12GB of RAM with 256GB of storage, which is also the one that I'm reviewing here. The display is a 6.6-inch LCD. It still looks good and is pretty responsive and smooth thanks to that high refresh rate. Also, the cost would have gone up again if the company relied on an AMOLED panel. The use of an LCD panel also means that Realme had to resort for a physical fingerprint scanner, which is placed on the right edge and is super fast and very responsive. Because the main highlight here is the camera capability on the device. You get a total of 6 cameras, 2 in the front and 4 at the back. The primary camera boasts of a 64-megapixel sensor paired to an 8-megapixel sensor having a periscope-style telephoto lens that can offer 5x optical zoom and up to 60x digital zoom. The battery on this phone is rated at 4200 mAh, and you can charge that really quick thanks to the bundled 30-watt charger, which fully charges the phone in under an hour. Lastly, the phone runs on Android 10 with the company's custom Realme UI on top. Let me just first go through what's good on this phone and the things that I actually liked. Now, obviously, since it is packing a powerful processor with ample of RAM and fast UFS 3.0 storage, performance is top-notch and the phone breezes through your everyday tasks. It is also great for gaming, and that 120Hz refresh rate display just makes things very impressive. The second thing that I really liked on this phone was the battery life. Realme has optimized it quite well, and the phone managed to stay up all day even after heavy usage. On top of that, the company offers its 30-watt Dart charge tech, which is pretty similar to what you get on the OnePlus smartphones. The cameras, specifically the rear one, is actually very impressive. The telephoto capabilities on the X3 SuperZoom are commendable, as in daylight conditions, the pictures going up to 5x and even 10x look usable if not entirely sharp. Notably, the camera can go up to 60x zoom as I mentioned before, but I started to notice loss in details well above the 10x zoom mark. Now, high-resolution 64-megapixel shots look clean and sharp, and even HDR works really well in pulling out details from shadow areas. There is a very slight inconsistency in color tones when you shift between the cameras, but it's way better than most affordable smartphones that offer multi-camera setups. Now, coming down to what I don't like about this phone. Repeatedly, I've been talking about how jarring custom UIs on Android can be, and while the company's Realme UI is far refined than before, it still comes with a lot of bloatware. Now, to be clear, I did not have any problems with the performance or the responsiveness of the user interface. My complaint is mostly about the fact that Realme sticks to pre-installing apps on its phones, some of which include the recently banned Chinese apps. The other thing that I wasn't completely impressed was the typical Realme design. Yes, the soft matte finish at the back is nice, but the overall design just felt way too simple to me. Also, for some reason, the company hasn't put an effort to reduce the thickness, especially since this phone doesn't have an extraordinarily large battery. Lastly, there is a bit of an identity crisis going on here with this phone. The Realme X2 Pro from last year continues to sell at a similar price point as the X3 SuperZoom. Technically speaking, the new phone doesn't seem like a successor. Rather, Realme wants this phone to coexist with the X2 Pro, which offers an HDR10 certified AMOLED display, faster 50-watt fast charging, as well as stereo speakers. This could work in favor of Realme as it is giving choice to the customers, but it could also backfire because customers are usually looking fast and smooth display, great battery life, excellent performance, and a telephoto camera. Then you can't go wrong with this one.
And with that, it is time for a small break on the Tech and Auto Show. But don't go anywhere, as on the other side, there's a lot of action waiting just for you.